Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mike's Mini Motors. So, in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to one of my new projects. This is a 2007 Yamaha C3, or in the Asian market it's called a Vox, and in, I think it's the UK, maybe all of Europe, I'm not sure, it's called the Giggle. They're kind of a big boxy thing, and at first I thought they were ugly, and it's grown on me. I think they're kind of one of those they're so ugly they're cool type of things. I don't know. It's grown on me. So I picked this one up over in Seattle. Thanks to Jeff Pfeiffer for helping me out. So thanks to you, buddy. But yeah, I got it for a good deal. It's pretty rough. You can tell it's lived a rough life. I'll get the camera here in a second. I should give you a little bit closer view. But this thing's kind of cool. It's a 50cc engine on it, but it's fuel injected, which is really cool. So first time having a fuel injected bike for me. And yeah, so let me go ahead and grab the camera. I'll get you a little closer look, and I can show you the state this thing's currently in. All right, so here you can see the front end. Like, this front fender's pretty jacked up. The rest of the plastics up front here at least don't look too bad. Dings and dents on the headlight. And then the floorboard, it's not damaged, it's just kind of that kind of chalky color from, I think, from sitting in the sun and stuff. And then the seat itself, oh, what's my gimbal doing? The seat itself is actually in really good condition, but pretty much almost all the plastics are damaged. You can tell this thing was put down probably multiple times on both sides. Go around to this side too. Yeah, so lots of scratches and dings, and there's actually quite a few cracks, but most of them are pretty small. Like, there's right here, there's a crack, but just a little hairline one. And that's how she sits right now. One thing that I also found out on this thing the hard way is this ignition. My mic's bumping the handlebar, sorry. This ignition has a little shutter on it there. And normally the stock keys for these have a head that goes into there, but this is all my bike came with, is just a metal key. And so I was looking at this one day, and I was like, I wonder what that little open shut thing is. So I turned it with a screwdriver. It locked the ignition, and now you need the magnetically coated key to open it up again, which I don't have. So I'm gonna have to get that pulled off of there so I can actually start this thing up and show you guys it running. So as you guys can see, the plastics are pretty jacked up on this thing. It's been put down multiple times, you can tell. But I did order all new plastics for this thing, even the floorboard and everything, because through Partzilla, I could get all OEM parts, and it was actually a lot cheaper than I thought. But some of the parts are going to take longer to get than others, just because they're a back stock and, you know, just parts that people really want. Mainly like these side covers and stuff. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm just going to pull it all off of here, and I got a can of Plasti-Dip right there. I'm just going to Plasti-Dip them black, just to see, you know, cover it up a little bit, make it hopefully look a little nicer, and then at least in the meantime, until the new plastics come in. So what I'm going to start with is actually on the front end here. I'm going to get this disassembled down to the point where I can get this off here, just so you guys can see how I got to do that, so I can actually start this thing up. And then before disassembling it totally, I'll start it up so you guys can see it running. Alright, so to get this key shutter off of here, I have to get it off before taking this plastic off because it's capped over the plastic here. But once you get the front off, it's actually really easy. As you can see right here, there's just one screw, which I'll take out real quick. And then you take it from the front and you twist it about 90 degrees. It pops right out. So, let's see if we can get this to focus. So yeah, you can see here, there's the shut and, so I'm doing this backwards to me, and open here. And normally on the plastic head of the key, there's 3 magnets in here, and they're either, you know, north, south, whatever the combination is. And sorry, I'm trying to get this centered. I'm not very good right now. And then once you get those the right combination, the magnets slide out of the way, and then you can slide this back to move the shutter. One thing I have done though is I found a model online of, this is off a different bike, but a key head, and I actually 3D printed it. And I was going to try to mess in with some magnets I have. I did one already, which is pretty ugly. I just did the head part and drilled out and pressed in with my vise some magnets, and it still didn't work. So I might just replace this whole thing and just move on. Alright, let's get the rest of this plastics off of here. Well, this is pretty gross. Once I got the seat off of there, all sorts of crud. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, somebody get the vacuum out and clean all that up, I think. Alright, so one thing I thought about before I tear this thing down too much, before I pull the battery out, I was going to show you guys it starting up, so I'm going to do that real quick. So, she starts up and runs great, but while I have this thing disassembled, I am going to do some maintenance to it, change the oil, all that kind of stuff, just because I got it apart. And who knows when the last time was the previous owner did it. So, yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this, actually get the battery out of here, get the ECU unbolted so I get the rear basket off, get those plastics off. I'm probably going to wait for a little bit to get that guy off. I'll do it off camera. And then, this thing is disgusting. If I remember right, the previous owner said this was stored outside for quite a while. And I can definitely tell because there's just spiders, webs, and it's grody. So can't wait to get it teared down, and I'll probably take it to the car wash and get it cleaned off. And yeah, so let's get to taking more plastics off. Alright, so here you can see the C3 with almost all of its plastics gone. The only ones I got left are the front fender here, which I might have to pull the wheel off to do, and the rear fender. But I don't know if I'm going to pull the rear fender off because you don't really see it once the box is on there. But you can see that this thing is filthy. Like I said, the previous owner said that it's was stored outside. It definitely looks like it. There's, you can see like on the carburetor there, it's just covered in cobwebs, and over here just gross. So this thing is definitely going to get a wash. And here's the rear pan. You can see just full of pine needles and dirt and dead bugs, and all the fun stuff. Alright, so I got all the plastic panels Plasti-Dipped. I got a couple still sitting here. You can see they turned out pretty decent. They, you still see some of the scratches and stuff from this thing being laid down, but I think it'll help cover them up some, unless you're looking really close. But I haven't put all the panels on yet because I still have a couple things I want to do. I'm going to put some new tires on this thing. So before getting it all covered up, do that. And then I'm also doing an oil change, and then we can get her all buttoned up. So I'm going to go ahead and start at the front tire just because it's pretty much just pull the axle out and that one's off. So I'll do that one probably in hyperlapse real quick just because that one will be easy. Alright, so we got the front tire put on there now, and then since I had that done, I went ahead and put all the plastics on here so you can see. Move the tripod a little bit for you so you can see it. It's looking pretty good. It's almost a little too much black. I almost need something to break it up, which right now I've got the plastic piece up here, which is still that silver color, but for now, that's good enough. So, what I have left is back here. You can see the box still doesn't have its panels on because I'm going to do the rear tire here, but I got to pull off the exhaust and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm also going to go ahead and change the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then we get these panels back on and see how she looks. Alright, so here she looks with all of her panels on. Still not perfect, you can still see the scratches if you're looking for them, but covers it up so they're not as obvious. On that silver, you can really see them. One thing is that, I pointed out that shutter, I've kind of locked myself out of it, so for now I'm leaving it off. I'm going to see if I can try to get back into it, but for now it's staying off. And you can see over here, this side as well. And then if you guys caught it, the hyperlapse, let me put it together. I did only put the taillight in with like 2 bolts, I think. Because I'm going to pull that back out to try the LED taillight. Alright, well there you have it. That's the intro and little facelift we have for the C3, aka Big Booty Trudy, which what we're going to be calling this thing. We went ahead and gave it the Plasti-Dip paint job just to make it look a little better now while I'm waiting on the other plastics, which will be a little while because they're back ordered. Went ahead and put on some new Michelin Bopper tires, and then I did go ahead and change the oil already. I just didn't film that. But yeah, keep watching if you guys want to see more of this here. I've got actually just got in the mail today the parts to. I'm doing a drag bar setup here with bar red mirrors and LED blinkers. Got that coming up, and then also I'm going to try making that custom LED taillight back here. So if you guys want to see that stuff, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you like what we're doing here, like the video. And if you guys want to say something, leave me a comment. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.